Snapseed and it asks you access to your camera roll, give it full access so that you're able to, so the program, the app, can access the pictures that you want to photo edit within the app.
And then open from device camera or?
Open up from device. So, I'm glad to hear that you were able to. So, what he's talking about is I asked everybody to try to download. It's a free photo editing app that I use. It's called Snapseed, S-N-A-P-S-E-E-D, Snapseed. It has a green leaf. I like it because it's free, number one. Number two, to me, it's easy to use. And that's the most important thing for me is ease of use. Now, when we're talking about photo editing, all your phones are able to do some photo editing, okay? You're able to call up a picture on your phone and click to edit it, and you can lighten and darken it, you can pump up the saturation, you can crop it. So I hope everybody has done some of that, okay? What these apps do is give you more choices of things that you can do, okay? So I'm gonna talk about a few of the more popular ones. There's tons of them. There are tons of them, okay? But these are the ones that are more popular. I'm gonna talk about some of the essential tools in these photo apps that you have available to you to play with and to use, okay? And I'm gonna give you some tips for creative effects, and we're gonna take a look and do a little bit of a deeper dive into the one that I tell everybody that I like to use, Snapseed, just because it's easy and all that stuff, okay? So, why use photo editing apps? So photo apps have a wide range of functions that help users capture, edit, organize, and share photos easily, okay? So similar to the photo editing options that you already have on your phone, most of these apps do the same thing, okay? They have tools such as cropping, rotating photos, adjusting the brightness or the darkness, controlling the saturation. Now, if nobody knows what saturation means when it comes to photos, saturation is kind of the richness, the vibrancy of the colors in your pictures, okay? And I like to pump up my saturation a little bit. Pump up the saturation. Okay, so the purpose is just basic tools allowing users to quickly improve the quality and the composition of your pictures, okay? Filters and presets. Most of these photo editing apps offer filters and presets, okay? And what does that mean? They're pre-made color and stylized options, filters, okay? That mimic certain styles that you call up your picture, you say, I want to give it a black and white filter, and you click on it, and it applies that black and white filter to your picture in that preset style, okay? And it does all the work for you, so you don't have to go in and do it yourself, okay? And it'll have a ton of different presets and filters that give you different really cool effects on your pictures, okay? It'll change it to black and white, it'll change it as if it looks like you're in a photo booth style, it'll change it so that it's very saturated and the contrast is really high and stuff. There's a ton of different ones, okay? There's some that filters that are portrait filters, where it cleans up your face and makes it all nice and movie-like, right? So the purpose of these filters are just an easy way to change the mood, the appearance of your photograph, okay? portrait and selfie enhancement, okay? So some of these apps have the ability for you to select areas in your skin and smooth those areas out. I know us ladies really like those. There is an app that my friend likes to use solely because it has a huge variety of apps that make her skin look beautiful and soft and vibrant and all that stuff. So that's why she loves that app, but she pays for it. And I'm not willing to pay for it. But, you know, some of these will eliminate red eye. Sometimes you have this red eye because the light's hitting your pupil. It'll change the color of the background. It'll whiten up your teeth. So there's all these things that you can do to manipulate the photos. Object removal and retouching. Okay, so a lot of these will give you the ability to take objects out of your photograph. And this is useful when, let's say, you're at a touristy site and it's full of people and you get this picture of yourself or maybe a friend or of a place, and there just happens to be one or two people in that shot that, oh, if they weren't there. Well, these apps give you the ability to erase them out of the picture, okay? And so that's a useful tool when taking travel photos, is to get those pesky objects and people out of the picture. Text and graphic overlays. So similar to what you can do in Instagram and in Facebook, where you can put a text over your reels, your video reels. These apps, some of these apps will allow you to put text over your photographs, okay? And also apply stickers and frames around your pictures, really cool black frames or white frames, or make it look as if it was an old school, like a piece of film with the little numbers and everything, the Kodak numbers and everything around it. And that's a cool effect. So the purpose is to create social media content, memes, or design graphics for digital and print use. And lastly, but not only, because there's a lot more stuff that these apps can do, is collages and layouts. So some of these apps, like Canva, is one of the apps that I'll mention, lets you take multiple pictures and make a collage of multiple pictures on one photo, and then you can share it, and it looks like, you know, there's pictures stuck together, and it's a collage that you create. So that's kind of cool. Okay? The purpose is, again, to allow users to be creative, use multiple photos in a layout for sharing. And this is nice, especially if you're using these apps for business. So let's say, you know, you're a real estate agent, you're showing the property, so this is the picture of the property, but you want to have your information in your picture within that one picture, so you can put your picture and your information, your text, over that picture, okay? So photo apps combine these features to give users powerful ways to capture, edit, and creatively enhance photos, making professional quality editing accessible to everybody. So Snapseed. Snapseed has a pretty straightforward layout. It's an easy swipe control, okay? So you choose something and you're either gonna swipe right or left to control it, the effect. Each tool includes auto adjustments, so you can hit the auto option and it'll change the image for your, automatically as it sees fit to improve the picture. So I like this tool. It's a one-tap enhance. It has one-tap enhance features. It has a great selection of different filters that again, you tap it once and it changes your picture according to that filter choice, so it's easy to use. But it also has other advanced features like the healing tool, which I'll go over, and that's the tool that you use to take out objects of photos. It's called the healing tool, Healing. Okay? The cost is free, and it's available for iOS and Android. Canva. Now, a lot of people know Canva as an app that you can use to create flyers and different creative documents, that sort of thing. But you can also use it to photo edit. It does have photo editing features for you to use. And what I like about Canva is that it has social media options. So you can choose the social media option. It'll ask you, do you want to make a post for Instagram, for Facebook, for whatever social media platform you're going to do it on, you want to create a post on. You can input the photo in there, and it changes the size of that picture in order for it to be the best quality and size format for that social media platform. Okay, and I really like that. And then it has some basic photo editing options that you can do to your pictures, okay? There is a free version of Canva, but it has limited features. There's the cost for the Pro, it's $12.99 a month, or $119.99 for the year. And that gives you access to a bunch of premium templates for all sorts of things. Documents, flyers, resumes. I mean, the sky's the limit. The other thing that Canva has that I like a lot is that it has clip art. So you don't have to use a picture of yours. They have a whole library of photographs that you have access to build whatever post or flyer or thing that you want to do with. So it's not just a photo editing app. It has a photo editing option. It's more than that. But I like Canva, and a lot of people already use it for other applications. Photoshop Express. Now, Photoshop is an Adobe product, okay? And Photoshop is the photo editing application that most professional photographers use. Photoshop Express is their mobile version of Photoshop. So if you're used to using Adobe products, you're a Mac user, and you have some experience Photo Editing Express on your cell phone, on your smartphone is a good option for you, okay? If you don't have a lot of experience, I would not use it personally. I don't use it personally, and I have a ton of experience with Photoshop. Because when I'm on my phone and I'm going to do something with a photograph, I'm usually doing it to post something quickly, and so I want it to be something simple, okay? But this is an option. It is a more simplified version of the full Photoshop program. It has auto fix, filters, blemish removal, color adjustments, all right? It also does it with a slider, as a slider. It's free with basic tool options. This version on your phone, you do not have to have Adobe, you don't have to have the Adobe suite of applications to be able to have this on your phone. It's free. But of course, you know, it has certain limitations, and you can always pay more money for more options. PixArt. PixArt is that photo editing app that my friend really loves because it has all these filters to like fix her skin and make her look like a movie star. So she loves it. But But what I found is the free version is extremely limiting as far as what you can do. It really forces you to buy the subscription. She pays for the subscription. But she loves it. She's not a professional photographer. She, teaches hazmat training. So if she can do it, anybody can use it, really. So, but she loves it, PicsArt. I'm not super familiar with it, but she said you have to tell your class that she recommends it and that it's awesome. So I am. One-touch filters, fun effects, easy collage maker, so you can make collages within PicsArt. Okay. So key editing tools. And again, a lot of you already have probably done this using the photo editing options that are already in your phone. So adjusting the exposure, which basically means adjusting the brightness or the darkness of your picture. This is used to correct, maybe you shot a picture and you really like it, but it's way too bright, you want to kind of darken it up a little bit. So that's the tool that you would use. Most of these apps have that tool. Color balance and saturation. This modifies the color, the appearance of your photograph. So let's say, you photographed something out in nature, but the greens are kind of muted. So you go to your saturation option and you pump up the saturation so that green is more vibrant. All of these have that ability as well, including your phone. So it controls the intensity of the colors in your picture. Sharpness and clarity. So, if I'm taking pictures without my glasses, that sometimes creates blurry pictures. My pictures come out just a little soft, right? And so I'll open my picture up in one of these apps in Snapseed, and I'll go to details. That's where in Snapseed you would sharpen it. And I just pump up the sharpness and voila, it's fixed. So most of these apps will do it. Now, if your picture's completely out of focus, no, it's not probably gonna make it focus, but if it's just slightly out of focus, it'll help. Filters and presets. So these are pre-designed settings to quickly change the mood and tone of your photograph. And you use filters to maintain a consistent style across multiple photos. So you can take multiple photos and you want to change the style. Let's say you want to make them all black and white. Cinema noir effect. You can do that with these apps. So, these are just some overall practical tips when you're using photo editing apps, okay? So, and this is true for even when you're using, you're changing stuff on your phone, doing photo editing stuff using your phone's photo editing tools. Start with subtle adjustments, okay? Gradual changes yield better results than being heavy-handed in what you're doing. So if you want to pump up the color of a picture, pump it up just a little bit. Okay, we still want it to look natural. Don't pump it up to the point that it looks like Avatar, that would be bad. Or if you're using the portrait mode, in Snapseed, the portrait mode is a mode where it kind of softens the skin up a little bit. You can alter that to be real powerful, and it looks like those old-time Hollywood pictures of the starlets, right? And they're all soft and perfect. Come on, people know what you look like, okay? They're not going to buy it. It looks weird. And they're going to say, what the hell was Cindy thinking? We know she has a lot more wrinkles than that. Okay? So when editing, it's often best to make gradual changes rather than drastic alterations. So it maintains the integrity of the original image. So let's talk about that. In these apps, when you make changes to your photographs, you're losing information. You're losing digital information. It's altering the digital information, okay? So if you do a lot to your pictures, okay, and you save it, and you don't save it as a copy, oh no, that's bad, because you've lost the original picture with all of the original information in it, okay? So one of the biggest tips that I have for you in anything you do is if you are able to save your picture as a copy after you've used a filter or you've edited in some way, do that. Never ever save it as the original. You want to have two copies. You want to have your original always, and then whatever you manipulated, the picture that you manipulated, okay? So if you do that, and let's say down the line you want to make a print, you're able to take that original with all of the information and make a better print than if you were to take the image that you put a filter on that has lost some information, right? And it's not gonna look as great, okay? Something also to keep in mind, is, let's say you take a picture and it's very, very, very bright. It's like blown out. The sky is blown out. There's no detail in that sky. But you want to darken the sky because you know there's clouds there and you want to darken it. You want to make it richer. You can put it in an app and see if it'll do it. Chances are it won't. And the reason why is because there is no digital information in that area already. There's no information in that file to darken. Okay, so it can't do it. I always suggest that when you take pictures and there's a very bright area, always tap your phone in that bright area so you're exposing for that bright area. It's better for your pictures to be darker and then lighten it up in a photo app than for it to be too bright and light and then you try to darken it in a photo app. Okay? So that's a very important tip that I suggest you do. Okay? So always better that your pictures are darker rather than lighter. So how do you apply this? You begin by adjusting exposure, brightness, and contrast slightly. Observe how each change is affecting your image, okay? And again, do it quite gradually until the effect is the way you want it to be, and then save it as a copy. Very important to save it as a copy. So this is Snapseed, just real quickly. This is when you open up a picture in Snapseed. This is what you see. And so you pick Tune Image is where you can slide and move up and down on the picture to change the darkness, the lightness, the saturation, all that stuff, the ambient lighting. But just quickly, I wanted to show you that's what it looks like. So pay attention to skin tones. Overview, when editing portraits or images that feature people, it's crucial to keep skin tones looking natural, okay? Altering colors too much can result in skin appearing unnatural and blotchy and just look really weird and unflattering. So when you use tools, you want to adjust slightly, gradually, and always monitor how is the skin tone looking. Is the skin tone looking kind of weird, or is it staying nice and natural looking? Okay. Experiment. The way you learn how to use photo editing apps is by using them, by experimenting. Okay? You can always cancel out and you've done nothing to the original picture, okay? Always cancel out. Where there's no returning is if you save it as the original and you don't save it as a copy, okay? So one of the best ways to improve your editing skills is through experimentation. So have fun, experiment, use all the filters, try out different tools and techniques can lead to discovering new styles, enhancing your creative vision. So set aside some time to play with these apps, okay? And give access to your photos to the app so you can call your pictures into the app and then just play around. Yes?
You said the edited versions, try and save it as a separate copy.
Mm-hmm.
Will that copy be saved within the app or onto your photo?
So the question is that when you save the copy, where will it be saved to? Within the app or in your camera roll on your phone? It should be saved on your camera roll on your phone. Okay?
I thought
Mm-hmm.
if we weren't using an app to edit the photo, let's just say you were just using your regular tools.
Right, the tools that come in your
The
phone.
photo wouldn't be edited, but there would be an option asking you to revert to original.
Yes, you can.
Or you can still save it as a second one.
So the question is, you know how sometimes you make changes using the tools on your phone, and there's an option where you can revert back to the original, okay? But with these apps, once you've changed the original, that's the original, okay? You've saved it as the original. So your phone no longer has the original image. That's why I'm saying always save it as a copy, okay? If you're doing photo editing within your phone, right? Your phone has the original. You can always revert back to the original. But again, I like to do copies, and and you can do that beforehand. You can take a picture and duplicate the picture and then just use the duplication of that image to play around. Okay? So you can do that within your phone first, outside of the application, so you have two versions. And then you take that duplication and put it into the app. Okay? So one of the best ways to improve is to dedicate some time, play with the features, all the filters and all that stuff. Okay, so I want to dive into Snapseed, okay? And this is that free photo editing app. It's known to be a powerful, easy-to-use photo editing app that makes it's popular because it's really easy to use for beginners and professionals alike. So here are some of the most popular editing tools in Snapseed, okay? Tune image, okay? So if you have Snapseed already on your phone, if you were able to download it, I encourage you to go ahead and open it up. And when you first open it up, you're going to get a circle. It'll be a white screen, and it's going to be a circle with a plus sign, okay? Or it's going to ask you, give me access to all of your photos. You're going to say yes, give them access to your photos, okay? But once it has access, you're going to have a circle and a plus sign. You're going to click on that plus sign, and your camera roll will show up. Pick a picture and call it up, okay? So if you're able to do that now. Now, tune image, okay? Tune image is what adjusts the brightness, the contrast, the saturation, what they call ambiance, which is the ambiance of the setting of the picture, highlights, shadows, and the warmth of it. Okay, the warmth is kind of how kind of yellowy orange warm the image looks like. So you can make it more bluish, less, more cold per se, or you can make it even warmer, the image, okay? So when you call up a picture and you select Tune Image and you click on the screen, okay, and you kind of move your finger up and down, this is what you get. you get your options, okay? So brightness, contrast, saturation, ambiance, highlights, shadows, and warmth. The highlights is the brightest area of your photos, okay? The shadows is exactly what it is. It's the darkest areas of your photos. So if you have a highlight that you want to darken, you scroll down to highlight, choose highlight, and then you're going to move your your finger across the image, and you should see the image, the highlights within that image get darker or lighter, okay? So it's all a sliding motion. Everything on this app is a slide of a finger, okay? Usually what I do is I go to brightness. Brightness will it brightens the whole picture, not a specific area. So this option is applied to the entire photograph, okay? Snapseed does have an option where it's called selection, and you can select a specific area to either darken or highlight. Okay, so it does have an option to do that. Is anybody able to open it up and gotten to the point? Yeah? Okay. Well, if you have a neighbor, you want to show them. So it's really easy. It's not hard. So I'm going to call it up on my phone. Okay, so this is what the first screen looks like. When you open up the app, it already has access to your library, okay? This is what it looks like. Circle and a plus sign, okay? All right? So if I tap on it, oh, come on. Okay, if I tap on it, it calls on the bottom my camera roll, okay? Calls up my camera roll, my pictures, and I can scroll, and select the picture that I want to use, okay? So this is what that page looks like, okay? Underneath, it says open from device, camera, or open latest image. What does that mean? Open from device. So you're opening from your camera roll, from your device's camera roll. So it's basically saying, do you want to pick a picture you've already taken? Yeah, I want to pick a picture I've already taken. The camera option is basically saying, do you want to take the picture within the app? So if you open up the camera option, a camera feature comes up as if it's a camera. You take your picture, that picture is taken within the application. It opens up the picture, and then you can manipulate and photo edit that picture. Okay? So that's the camera option. And then underneath, open latest image. Let's say you were working on a picture, you had to go cook dinner, or you had to do something, and you come back. It opens up the last picture you were working on. Okay? So those are your options. So I'm going to pick a picture, okay? And then when I pick the picture, this is what comes out. The picture is called up, and underneath, see the pictures in the main window, and underneath you see the same picture, but different filters are applied. Okay, and this is something that I like about Snapseed, is that it already has pre-made filters for you that with one tap of the finger, it applies that filter and makes all the changes needed for that picture, for the filter to be applied to that picture. Okay, so what filters are there? There's your latest edit, so if you've made changes to a picture, the latest edit that you did for the last picture that you did is there. Portrait, and portrait mode is that softening of skin tones, okay? To make the portrait look nice and soft and eliminate some of those harsh wrinkles. Smooth, smooth just kind of, it kind of softens the entire picture, Okay. Pop is where the filter increases the contrast and the saturation, makes everything pop, more vibrant, in the image. Accentuate, I think it's called. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's kind of like pop, but it takes it even further and it makes it really, really, really vibrant. Remember I told you to be careful with that? I don't use that filter